Number 3. Stepping on a nail. I will start with a soft one. The situation is tense. The killer or the monster is just round the corner looking for you, sniffing for you in the air. Silence is of utmost importance. And you step on a spare nail lying around. Ouch! The horror, the pain. Will you succumb to your instinct to scream and be caught? First, we all know you won't scream. You're going to cover your mouth tightly with your palm. Second, it is highly unlikely that the entire nail would enter the flesh of your foot the way it is shown in these movies. You would remove your foot as soon as you feel the tip of the nail, even if you're walking at a regular pace, let alone tiptoeing. How to do it right? Ready or not? This scene. Poor Grace has to apply all the force she can muster into her palms so as to not fall back into the ditch, and the nail pierces right through her already damaged hand. Number 2. False hope rescuer. The victim or the victims are cornered by the killer or the killers. Then, another character enters the scene. The victim believes that the rescuer is here and that their ordeal is finally over. Except, we the audience have seen one too many horror movies and we know that this red herring of a rescuer is going to end up dead, and they do. I understand why and how this trope came about. It is a practical way of showing the still alive victim and the audience the threat level. Also serves as a means of showing the ultimate survivors what not to do. However, many horror and thriller movies today don't seem to understand the purpose of this trope and only use it to notch up the body count for the gore-hungry audience. Thus, as soon as we see an ancillary character or the generic corpse at the door, we know their fate. How to do it right? Here are 2 examples I found of doing it right. 1. The Shining. After Jack Nicholson's Jack has gone berserk with an axe and the spirits of the Overlook are having a field day tormenting the Torrance family, who should come in but Halloran, the one man who understands the hotel and the shine, and he takes an axe to the chest mere moments after entering the hotel. However, he had brought a snow cat with him, which provides Wendy and Danny a means of escape. Thus, his arrival was helpful after all. Example number 2. What we do in the shadows.
Hello, Felice.
As I said, since we are aware of the cliché, we are waiting for the vampires to attack the cops. Instead, they are hypnotized into being oblivious to the crime.
See what I'm saying?
Leading to a comic scene.
You're joking. Not a smoke alarm in sight.
Trope number 1. Post-apocalyptic supermarket trips. This trope has become as common in post-apocalyptic horror movies as the beam to the sky in sci-fi action movies. The world has seen an apocalyptic event.
Hello!
Our protagonists go to a nearby supermarket in order to find food. This is not a viable strategy at all. Fresh foods like fruits, vegetables, and eggs would perish within a few weeks, and so would frozen foods as soon as the electricity supply is lost. Food grains, packaged milk, and canned and packaged food would last for a year or 2, but even they wouldn't last forever. The wise thing to do is to make most of the time they last and start cultivating food crops and rearing dairy and meat animals. I'm yet to see a post-apocalyptic horror movie depicting farming. How to do it right? Dawn of the Dead. Here our group of survivors are holed up in a mall, and obviously it houses a supermarket. It works because here the apocalypse is only a few days old and there is a tacit understanding among the characters that this situation cannot last forever. And besides, the supermarket is a metaphor for consumer culture and thus relevant to the larger social commentary the movie is making. No, Mr. Price, those garlics are no longer good to keep the vampires away. What are some of the cliches you noticed in horror movies but no one seems to talk about? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is the Disembodied Voice, signing out.